Oh, we're live. Yay.
All right, just wait a few minutes. Let me go here. Let me see what it does. Let's see. See? All right. Wait for a few people to get in. See what these comments do.
So comments come in from Facebook, YouTube. They all pop up here.
Yes. Since I have them both populated, they'll be in the chat so we can see them all here. All right. Let's see where everybody is at.
Did you tell people you were doing what?
Mm-hmm. I see 3. It's six now. Okay, I got a few people in there. All right, we're gonna get started. They'll straggle in as they usually do. You ready? This is Kevin Bonner. What's going on, Kevin? You ready, dear? Let's do this. Welcome to Love, Life, and Marriage Live with the Woods. I am Seiko.
And I'm Sharon.
Welcome to our channel. Please do the following. We get ready to do this live. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell at the bottom of the video. Please tell a friend, tell an enemy as well that we're live. We up in here. Also, if you'd like to support the ministry financially, you can do that through the BCV Teespring link. You'd like to also support the ministry financially through PayPal, Cash App. The information is posted at the bottom of the description in the video below as well. We do appreciate your support. We appreciate your prayers. Thank you so much for those of you who have been so generous in supporting our ministry. If you are not a subscriber to our Love, Life, and Marriage channel, you may be a subscriber to my personal channel, but the channel that my wife and I do, we want you all to go there and bring those subscriptions up. Right now, I think we got just under 400, I believe. We want to raise those subscriptions up to the level to where mine is on my personal page. You know, it takes time to build up content and things of that nature. But if this ministry has been a blessing to you, and we know it has been for those who have been commenting and have been supporting us, please share it with on your page. Please share it with family and friends as well, and let them know that we are doing this just for you, just for the body of Christ and those who are interested in hearing truth and hearing real content from real people. So as you see, we have an individual, a young lady here in our live studio right now. Our oldest daughter, Shamyra. We see y'all. Hey, Rita, what's going on? Smart Christian, what's happening? What's happening? Michelle, y'all, come on. Hey, y'all tag some people up here. Let's get this live popping. Let's get this live going on. We got some things we want to talk about, and this is real stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Real life stuff. We don't cut any corners. We don't play any games. We don't try to appear like we like the Huxtables or nothing like that. So we want to make sure you all, when we have things that go on in our life, we have situations that happen in our lives, we want to involve you all and include you into that journey as well. Lavina, what's going on, sister? Thank you. Thank you so much. Jackson, what's up, my brother? That's for you. We graduate.
I thought it was for your anniversary or something.
No.
It's not an anniversary live.
Yeah. This is for
Thank you.
This is for you. So,
I have a Cash App too. I'll maybe drop that in if y'all want to. Whatever the Lord puts on your heart.
the views expressed by this girl here is not necessarily those
you'll catch on to
Woods
that.
or Love, Life, and Marriage with the Woods and or its affiliates.
It's affiliates.
Oh man! All right, so yeah, so y'all, okay. Look at the comment. Look at the comments.
Oh,
look, she said.
I got you, Miss Lavina. I got you. What is it?
See, that's what you get. That's what you get. See anybody running her no money? Anybody running? She ain't like that. Rita, what's going on, my sister? I think she looks more like me. Yeah, she does.
Oh
she
yeah,
does.
absolutely. All I did was carry her. That's it.
This young lady is truly makes of you and Sharon. Thank you, my sister. Thank you. Yeah, so what we want to do again, we want to get you guys involved in this. Listen, this is going to be so live that if you want to camp up with us and have a dialogue and discussion, even if you want to share your own life experience or life story with us, we appreciate it. Our daughter, she agreed to come on the live with us because she wants to share her story, her experience, and how she came down and how she contracted senior-itis. And so there's some things that led up to that. And so we don't have any script. We don't have anything that we're trying to, doctor up or pretty up or nice up. We're going to just have a real conversation. And we're going to ask you for your advice as well, too. This is a family. We appreciate the comments. We appreciate those of you who even come to us for advice. And so now it is going to be your turn. And so we're going to be open to, suggestions, thoughts, criticisms, whatever. We just want to get your thoughts about some things after we share our heart and our thoughts with you. So, Myra, let's get it. Let's talk about it. You are a senior. You've graduated
She's
from.
no senior no more.
Oh, I'm sorry. She's no longer a senior. She graduated by the grace of God.
You don't understand.
Yeah. Y'all don't understand, but y'all gonna understand. Some of y'all may understand, but y'all don't understand what we went through as a family. We went through a lot. Yeah. See, Sister Rita said, bro, half of my students still suffer from senior-itis. Her support system is key in her recovery from this. So see this?
It was
See this?
definitely my family that helped being alongside me to, encouragement, daily text messages. I mean, daily text messages.
How early was the text messages, Myra?
6 o'clock, around 6, 7-ish every day.
Yep. 6 in the morning, parents at my door. Let me stop. Let me stop. That ain't the right. That's the wrong song. I'm my fault. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm the oldest. The oldest daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, let's tell the people, this year, this past year, give them pretty much your life, what's been going on.
Start at the beginning.
Yeah. Start at the beginning, but everybody gotta go to work. Yeah, everybody gotta go to work in the morning.
When it start getting bad.
Yeah. All right, well, go ahead.
Okay, so I was a 4.0 student. I mean, that was my track record.
Yeah.
Maybe a 3.9, 3.7, somewhere in there. But at the very best, I was a 4.0. Something happened in my senior year. I knew it was gonna be hard. I just didn't know to what extent. So August to October was fine. We were good, smooth sailing. It wasn't until November when it was the last day before my Thanksgiving break was up. I got sick, and usually when I get sick, I try not to let it take over. I try to still push through my daily activities and things like that. But this one, what was that? That was actually it was kind of like the flu. I kind of had the flu a little bit. So that was after Thanksgiving, and I only took off 2 days. I took off 2 days, and that put me behind in schoolwork for over 2 weeks. So because with school, you have your assignments that are due, but then that doesn't stop the new assignments from coming up and also being due. So that's kind of how that snowball started and just started to spiral even more. Let's see. So that was the first semester. So you get a restart basically when the second semester starts. Your grades start over. So that was in late January. Late January was fine. Basically had a do-over. I was like, okay, good. Now I can basically just start over, blah, blah. We get to February, and my state where we live, Texas, then we experienced a storm that whole week, February 15th.
Yeah, that freeze. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that one, that kind of put me behind as well because the internet was going in and out and things of that nature. Then I got somewhat back on track. So the problem started basically because I was trying to figure out what to do with all the classes. So most of my classes I was doing fine. So English and classes like that I was doing fine. It was more so physics. I think that was the class that I was trying to bring my grade up in. And in doing that, I kind of pushed aside my other classes. I do not recommend it. I do not recommend that at all.
Did y'all hear what she said? she pushed aside those classes, and so it kind of like what.
Because I thought since my grade was fine in those classes, I could not forget about them. I was still doing stuff, but I was just doing it more later than it was actually due. So those classes weren't the top priority since I was passing them. And in doing that, when I was trying to pass the classes that I was failing, then the classes I was passing, now I was failing because I wasn't doing those assignments. So yeah, it just back and forth like that. And then we got to, when was that? The next I got sick.
Was that wrong?
No, that was the first.
That was the first
Oh,
time.
okay. All right.
This time.
It was after the freeze, right? Was it after the freeze or was it?
No, it was freeze, but I'm trying to figure out what it was. May. Was it May?
Mm-mm.
It must have been April. Spring break, maybe spring break. Got the stomach bug. And the first day, I was like, I can't. I was not about to let what happened the first time. I was about to
Come on, Corey.
First time happened. I was to through all my assignments. I was like, okay, so what? I'm sick. I'm still gonna try to get all my assignments done. Blah blah blah. And I did the first day. The first day I was fine. It was the second day I was like, okay, I feel better, but then it came back. I was like, you got to be kidding. I was mad. I was like, why is this happening right now? Again, why is this happening right now? I am failing. I am not passing. I am not on the path to graduating at this moment. Why am I getting sick again? So I think also that probably has to do with my immune system because while I was since this was my senior year, I was not taking care of myself. I mean, at all. Sleeping, what is that? I was not doing that at all. I mean, I would be up maybe 48 hours straight.
Unbeknownst to us.
Yeah, she hid it from us.
Particularly me, because my schedule is I get home and then I'm thinking she's upstairs studying or whatever. No, she is studying, but she's playing catch up. But you already know if you're not getting any rest, your body's not a machine in the sense of where you can just plug it in and plug it up, unplug it, and you can go. No.
And I was starting to that became a realization as well because yeah, you can try to push yourself as much as you can, but it's like you also have to realize what your body is trying to tell you. And let's see, I don't care if I reveal this because I mean it's normal, but for women, females, you have your menstrual cycle. I was off for months, still off. So still trying to, get that together. Like, so not taking care of my body physically, mentally, just threw off a lot of things. So I was, so I was starting to notice changes because I was not taking care of myself like I should have.
That's right.
So I was noticing that sleep is something that you definitely need because even if I tried to push myself, I would feel myself like shutting down, like my body, like, and all of a sudden I'd be working and the next thing I know, I was asleep. I just woke up. I was like, when did I go to sleep? So yeah, so your body, if you don't take care of your body, it will force you to. If you don't sleep, it will force you to sleep. And that was what was happening.
What did I tell you about how God, how sleep is a gift from God? You're not taking care of the gift. You're not taking advantage and taking the opportunities that God has given his beloved sleep. You are not, using that as an opportunity to restart yourself and refresh yourself. So yeah.
And also like learning that not doing that, you're kind of like putting yourself on the pedestal that God is because he doesn't need rest. So to make yourself like think like, oh, I can do this. I'm a machine. I don't need to do this, blah, blah, blah. But he's made rest so that because he knows we need it.
Right.
So not taking advantage of that gift, it's not good at all. So what else?
Well, let's kind of like fast forward a little bit. So you had the episodes of being sick, those moments of being sick. That's beyond your control.
Yeah.
Right. However, there could be causing factors that can cause you to be sick, which is a lack of sleep or not eating properly or thinking that you can just go. So there can be some contributing factors to that, but overall, you can be sick. I mean, sickness happens to all of us. So those things can be somewhat out of our control. But what are the things that were in your control? You mentioned about the school. You mentioned about your classwork, right? Or course load. Looking back on it now, if you had a chance to do it all over again, if the Lord said, okay, now that you've learned your lesson, hopefully, did you learn? Did you learn?
I hope so.
Okay, we're gonna find out. Huh?
Yeah, we'll find out.
I guess we'll find out. We're gonna do another live, I guess, and we're gonna see how this one works. But yeah, so if the Lord were to allow you to restart and say, okay, now, what would you have done differently? And where you are now, because you say you started with a 4.0 grade point average. What's your grade point average now? And let's talk about that. And why. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Real Talk. This is Love, Life, Married with the Woods Unscripted. This is what we do. Go right ahead, baby. What?
2.0. 2.0 right now.
So you dropped. Now let's talk about that. Let's discuss that. You dropped 2 whole points from a 4 to a 2. You were on track to do what? Scholastically.
Oh, I've always been on high honor roll.
Always.
Let me also give a background of how I am as a person. I'm a perfectionist. That's not something that was put on me. That's not something that they forced me to. That's not a way that they forced me to think. I've just always been.
Force you to try to make straight A's.
No, they've never done that. Like saying like, oh, what is this? This is not an A or a B. If you've given your best and you just happen to get a C or lower than that, then yeah, as long as you gave your best, that's all they can ask for. Right. So they've never said like, oh, anything other than an A or B is bad. But for me, it is. So how I am, and I think that's also just because like the influence of outside and just like how the world works. If you don't graduate, if you don't go to college, you're nothing, because what are you going to do like career wise? If you don't go to college, you don't get your degree, all that stuff. So I feel like just the pressure that people put on students to high achievements and things of that nature is really what gets into most students' minds, like that they have to be perfect. They have to get these grades. They have to get this kind of GPA, because you're not going to get scholarships. You're not going to get into college, all that type of stuff. So that mindset, I've had that for a while. So for me to drop from very high to being an AB student to, okay, now you're getting C's, D's. Okay, now you're failing 2-3 classes. For me to see that and like just watch that decline was it's very humbling, definitely, because you can't control it, but it's like also you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're doing your best, and your best to me it doesn't seem like it's good enough, or it doesn't seem like it's producing results. You can't do anything else. Like it just is what it is. So you have to be okay with what your reality is. But yeah, so
I think so. Also with that, I'm glad that you let the people and the audience know, because there are going to probably be some students and some teenagers or some young adults that are going to watch this live, is going to watch this video. And let me tell you something. The best thing you can have in your life are parents who support you and back you 100%. Now, this is what we've told our children. All we want is your best.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we want. Now we can tell when your best is not your best. We can tell when you slip it. We can tell when you just playing it. We can tell when you're not going hard in it. And then that's when we come in and we're gonna give you that reality check, right? But I believe that one of the blessings and benefits is that when you have parents that are encouraging you and letting you know that if this is your best, then that's what we're going to accept. Because here's the reality: not every child is going to be an honor student.
Yeah.
That's so parents, don't put that pressure on your children to have them to think or believe that they must achieve or have an A average all throughout their subjects, all throughout their school year, because that's too much pressure. And you already heard what she said, that you already got the outside pressure. You already got it. And then when they're trying to compare themselves to other people, that's not good either. So what we strive to do, my wife and I, what we do is we let them know, you don't compare yourself to nobody else's child. We know people right now who have taken dual credit courses and things like that. That's not what God had for our children to do at the time.
Right.
And so he set it up in situations and in ways financially. He set it up providentially. He even set it up health-wise to keep our family at the place that he wanted us to be in. And so being content is not the same thing as being complacent. Being content is when you say, you know what? This is what God has for me to do. I know this is what God has for me to do. The grace that I have is what he has me to, is what he wants me to achieve, or the place that he has me in right now is where he wants me to be. It does not mean that I just sit back on my laurels and don't do anything. What it means is I apply myself, I use the resources and the abilities, I take advantage of whatever opportunities that God gives me. But once I do my part, I trust him with the results, and I have to be content in that. Being complacent is saying, okay, well, you know what? My mom and dad, they're not going to trip about this. I mean, it just is what it is. I don't really care. I don't put any drive, any effort into anything. Whatever it be, will be. No, that's being lazy. So there's a difference between being complacent and being content. And so I believe that for our daughter, God had to humble her because she has this standard of perfection. Mm-hmm. And since we only know that there's only one being that's perfect, and that's God, God had to use situations in her life, because one of the things we always, we pray for our children every day and throughout the day. Like, Lord, whatever you want for our children is what we want. But we want them to understand that as well, too. So this year has been very trying for her, because the reality is, okay, this is what I want. Myra has her life pretty much planned out.
Yeah.
I mean, like at 25, I want to have this.
I do. I have everything.
Go ahead. Yeah. Lay your plans out for the rest of the world so they can see and hear what your plan is, and so God can sit back and like, yeah, she said that to me.
She has no clue.
Yeah, she has no clue that I'm God up in this piece. But go ahead.
We've communicated.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm. He communicates too.
Right now, right, where we are in my plan, it's kind of like a 10-year plus type plan. I planned it out that much.
She don't have 5-year plans. She goes beyond. She adds another 5 to that 5-year plan. But go ahead.
So I'm 18 now, right? I'm going to be starting college in like 2 months. So right now, right, that's going to be 5 years. So 2026 graduate. Okay. So getting my degree in forensic chemistry. The next step after that, I'll just hint at what that is. You can click this video over there about female roles and things. But let's just say it's something along those lines, possibly after I graduate.
Yeah, we'll see.
So then that's 4 years. So then I would be around 28. So then start my CSI career. Hopefully within that time frame, I have a dude or whatever, and we get married, possibly like around 28, 29. And I don't have kids until like 31. And then like be done having kids by the time I'm 35. And then quit the job I have and like stay at home for a little while, and then like go back to work, because like I don't want to be at home all the time, because it's just not me. But yeah, that's kind of like what I've planned, hopefully.
I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna move this mic over a little bit and let the missus go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and let her give y'all her little plans too that she had. Go ahead, Shan.
What plans did I have?
You had plans too. You had plans.
Oh yeah, we talked about it in the last video.
Yeah, and what did we share with Myra? How those plans sometimes take
those. But with mom, it didn't. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Thwarted.
With your nursing thing, how you told the story to me, it just seemed like you gave up. It didn't seem like God was saying no.
No. I'm not saying at that particular time he may not have been saying no, but then I saw later on in life why that was not the right choice for me as far as careers go, because of the hours and the grueling hours that particular job would have required of me. I would have never been at home. I would have never seen my children. And so that in and of itself was not conducive to what I desired for my family. Because once I started having children, my feelings changed. I didn't want somebody else raising my kids. And daddy wasn't going to stop doing his job to stay home. That's not how the roles go.
But I guess the question is, so you have all these plans laid out, and
I'm
And there's some
ambitious and I
stuff
have
we got to
goals.
there's some stuff
Yeah.
we got to backtrack to
okay, so
as well,
okay,
because
go ahead.
because we haven't even talked about the how God's grace played into where we are right now.
Yeah, because you almost
in
failed.
terms of yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're-
she almost failed her senior year.
Yeah. I mean, we were like a hair's thin,
Seriously,
a hair strand away.
Yeah, she almost lost it all.
And that's why, for me, this is just me personally. I was not posting a bunch of stuff about, my daughter 2021, grats and congrats and all that stuff.
And I
'Cause-
told her to stop talking about it because I didn't want to hear it. I was like, because right, we already had, we already tried to set up pictures, grad pics, senior pics, a graduation party, things like that. And I was like, where I am right now, I'm not even trying to focus on that. Let's try to make sure that I'm even graduating at this point because that looks uncertain at the moment.
Yep.
So I was like, I don't even want to talk about that right now. We'll talk about that when I know that I've achieved that accomplishment. So basically how we even got to that, right? So let's talk about a teacher. Ugh, Jesus. Okay. I'm trying to hold on, y'all, because I'm trying to make sure.
God use that teacher too. Come find out.
It's
Don't say her name.
yeah, I'm not.
Yeah. Protect the guilty.
So I was failing her class. This is my algebra 2 class, algebra and geometry 2. I'm not bad at math. I'm not. It's just sometimes the concepts, it takes me a while to get them. But that's not why I was failing. I was just failing because I wasn't turning in work because that was one of the classes that I wasn't prioritizing. But anyway, so this is back in February. I had a 28 in her class. Yeah, I said that right. You heard it. A 28. So when I noticed that I had a 28 in her, I was like, oh crap. I need to get back to turning in her stuff. Because again, I kind of switched. I was trying to see who could I do this for, and who could I postpone this for based on who I was failing and who I was passing. Her class, I was not failing yet. So I was passing her class. So therefore, I put her class kind of like on the back burner in terms of turning in assignments. By the time I was passing the class that I wanted to pass, which was physics at the time, I noticed, okay, but now I'm failing her class, even though I was passing it before. So now I had to switch my focus to her. So yeah, I had a 28. We're in February, and I'm supposed to graduate in June. We have homework assignments every day, 4 days out of the week. So we had a phone call, like a conference call with my teacher, and because I had a breakdown. A mental breakdown. I have anxiety attacks sometimes. So she sent me an email letting me know about my grade and basically telling me, hey, this is where we're at right now. And I don't see you graduate. She was like telling me straight up, like, I don't think you're going to graduate. I do not think you're going to pass this class in enough time. Like basically like it's kind of impossible. There's no way. So
then she did know that you were a senior then, if she said that. Because on the phone, she was saying that you could just audit the class and take it again next year.
And I was like, no, it's not. That's not an option.
Right.
So I saw that, right, that basically that she was saying that, you're most likely not going to graduate. So you might as well just, try to take this class again next year. So I saw that and I was like, I broke down like immediately. I mean, my heart was racing. I was sweating. I was crying. I was hyperventilating, all that stuff. My mom sees me. I let her know. I was like, Mom, it's about to happen. I'm about to have a panic attack. And she was like, what's going on? What's going on? I showed her the message. My dad was on live at the time.
Yep.
And she had to go let him know, hey, like, I need you for a minute. So, yeah, it was a lot. So, yeah, I wasn't passing her. She was gracious. Like, when I would ask for extension, she was gracious, but to an extent. And I don't blame her for that somewhat because it is her class. She can do what she wants to do. She doesn't have to do that. But I was just comparing her to my other 4 teachers who were extremely gracious. I mean, like I really hope that God just blesses them in whatever capacity that he plans to. Because like what they did for me, they did not have to do, but they did. Like they all worked with me. Anytime I turned something in, they graded it. They didn't take away points because it was late. None of that stuff. So I was really thankful for the 4 other teachers that I had. It was just her. She seemed to be my roadblock that would not let up. So, and also I think there was a misunderstanding, because I could have sworn that she said, turn in your stuff when you can and it will be graded. So I turn in those assignments, and then she messages me, these assignments will not be graded. So I'm like, how do you expect me to graduate if you're not going to grade the stuff that you told me you were going to grade? So fast forward now. And so she let me know that I needed a 55 at least to pass with my previous semester's grade, which was a 75. So to add the 75 to whatever my second semester was and just have that average out to a passing grade. For the school that I was attending, you need a 65 to pass. So she let me know you need a 55 to pass this class in total. So I was like, okay, I can do this. It's February. I have a 28 right now. I need to get to a 55. My grade was going up, but my overall average was not. Like, it was not moving. So I messaged her and I was like, hey, basically like reminding her what she said she was going to do. Mm-hmm. And then she lets me know, she's like, I don't remember saying that. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. You said, I was like, I quoted her and everything. I put it, what she said in quotation marks and said, you said XYZ. I don't have any record of saying that. So we're now at the last day of school, and I'm still not sure if I'm going to graduate. This is the last day of class. This is June 3rd. That was what? 3 days ago. 3 days ago, I would not be able to tell you, hey, I'm graduating. So at the end of school, you have a survey to kind of like assess the class, how you liked it, the teachers, things of that nature. So taking that survey was extra credit. So she let us know, hey, you can say whatever you want. You know, you can say how you felt about me, blah, blah, blah. I'll still give you full credit, like extra credit for your class. So I was like, all right. I called my sister Nyla because she knew what was going on. I asked her first. I was like, how can I respectfully say how I feel about her and still let her know, like, this is how I feel. So she was telling me, like, say this, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right, I'll call mom. Because she wasn't helping. Yeah, so basically I let her know, hey, I would just really appreciate if you would, keep your word and do what you said you were going to do for me at the end of the semester. She was hurt about that because the way she responded, she was like, you could have simply just responded to this, blah, blah, blah. And before saying, I won't keep my word. But you didn't keep your word because you said you don't remember saying this. But anyway.
And I told her, I said, if she sends you a long email, I said,
Mom,
Lord
there.
help me. Lord help me.
Yeah. But
we're going to go in on after that.
So the problem comes now. So her class, unfortunately, it was not the only class that I was failing. It was her class and my history class. My history class, my teacher for that class, she was one of the teachers, like, so grateful for her. The way she is, she was kind of like one of those teachers that like in public school she would probably be taken advantage of because of how gracious she is. So students would probably purposely not do assignments because they know that she would probably be like, oh, it's all right, just turn it in, blah blah blah. So I noticed that about her, that she was kind of like one of those like sweet, genuine teachers that just honestly wants you to succeed. She wants you to pass. So she let me know, hey, yeah, I don't like where your grade is at. Let's try to work something out. You can still turn in assignments even after the last day of school, and I'll still grade them. I said, thank you so much. That's great. The problem comes now. We're at the last day of school. So now this is the day, last assignments. Someone at the school let me know, yeah, you won't be able to turn in assignments, even when my teacher said I would be able to, because the software basically that they use would have started over. So I wouldn't have been able to turn in assignments. So I emailed her. I said, okay, now what? Because I'm not going to, there's no way I'm going to pass your class. So now what? I have a final exam to take for you. I haven't studied for that yet because there's other exams I was supposed to take. So I was basically, okay, now what do you want to do? Now what are we going to do about my grade? Because I need to pass your class. And again, the way that she is, she apologized for something that was not even in her control. She's like, I should have done something about this, like before the semester started, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no, this is not even on you. This has nothing to do with you. So basically she had said, yeah, I'm so sorry. I should have taken care of this before the semester started, blah, blah, blah. I know you're a hardworking student. I know that you have great goals, aspirations, and I want you to do those things. And I'm going to make sure that I do everything that I can to make sure that you pass this class. So I had a 35 in her class. You need a 65 to pass. So to average with the 75 I had for the previous semester.
That's for history?
Yeah, I would not have passed her class. And I still have not taken her exam yet, her final exam. So whatever she said, she still was like, I'm going to make sure that you pass. So there was a bunch of assignments that was not turned in for her class. And she's basically going to tell me that, when it's time for the teachers to put in their last minute things, I'll hook you up a little bit. So basically she was going to grade me on a very dramatic curve. So I was extremely thankful for her. My English teacher, my physics teacher.
So are you still going to take this final?
I already did it.
No,
you did?
At the
Yeah.
time,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So are you saying that these teachers didn't cheat? They basically gave you grace, or how did that work?
I wouldn't call it cheating.
Okay, well, I'm asking a question. So they're not cheating, or do they have the right or the ability?
They have the power to do that. Yeah, because it's their class.
Okay,
so they have the power to do that.
And they have the power to give you
extra credit.
Extra credit. Okay, all right. So then let's touch on some things that way you can help other people.
I'm glad to be finished with school.
Yeah. This is so. See, is this Hey, Speedy. So you say, are you one that has graduated from school, or are you just somebody just want to pass? Because it may be a student. No, I'm not really sure. But yeah, I'm glad I'm finished with school. As a matter of fact, I know I am. The way they got school set up now, that's crazy. But I want us to talk about what you've learned from this. Let's do this. How did, matter of fact, here it is right here. Somebody just said, Charles Coleman said, just coming in, how did you end up with terrible grades in the first place?
So I gotten sick twice, in the first semester and the second semester, and then there was also a storm. So a mixture of not having internet, a mixture of illness, all that mumbo jumbo. So a bunch of things I couldn't control on top of assignments that were already stacking up because I was trying to catch up on assignments I was already given extensions for. So that's kind of how it just kept spiraling.
Anything that you slacked off on?
No.
You didn't slack off on anything?
No.
We thought you did.
What? You mean slack? You mean like purposely not do stuff?
Well, underestimated. When you underestimate things, you can be.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess you could say I underestimated because, like I said, what I thought would work did not work.
Didn't work.
Right.
So the plan I had was, okay, you're passing these classes, so put those on the back burner. Focus on the classes that you're failing. You cannot do that. I know that's not going to work. You have to figure out a way to prioritize each and every class. Mm-hmm. So I'll know that definitely for college life because I already know professors are not going to be as gracious. Just whatever happens.
Right.
So I mean, I pray that I'll have good professors,
and
but
you pay for that class.
Yeah.
Why do you pay for those classes
too?
But I think even the teacher that you had issue with,
mm-hmm.
that's a life lesson as well too, because you're going to have teachers
they're like that.
Yeah, I mean, and we can't really say too much anything negative because she was doing her job. She didn't have to even give you, I guess you could say credit on some of those things, or
because she still gave me extensions and things of that nature, but she was kind of like one of those teachers that followed the by the book. Mm-hmm. So there was no leeway. There was no, doing it kind of like her own way that she wanted to do. She followed the school rule book the way it was. So if something's late, sorry, I'm not going to grade it, blah, blah. You need an extension. Okay, you need to email me. No, your parents need to email me. The student can't email you, blah, blah, blah. So it was kind of like that. So it's not that she didn't give me grace. I was just comparing it to the grace that was given from other teachers.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
but now you did say some of the teachers did have issues with her in their surveys, or was that
Other students?
I said, yeah, other students.
other students? Yeah, other students. You give me other students. So other students.
But I was saying, like, the students that she was bringing up, the things that they said, it was kind of like, that's kind of like a you problem. Like, you should have said we should put this on our study guides or blah blah blah. But she did. You kind of just have to pay attention.
All right, so let's fast forward to where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and ladies and gentlemen, here's where your advice, your counsel, your thoughts, will be appreciated and even somewhat considered, if you will. But if you would like to have a conversation with us live, via Facebook Live or YouTube Live, I'll put the invitation link up, and you can come up with us with the Woods, and we can have a dialogue there. If it's too much for you to type or share your thoughts, via text. So, all right. So you are scheduled to fly out to DC in Virginia in July next month, right? For your STEM. Is that what that is? What is that called?
It's a leadership forum for 2 different career fields, either lawyer or CSI.
Okay. So that's already been covered. That's already been paid for. That was a blessing even earlier.
Definitely. Last year.
Last February.
Yeah, last February. That was definitely a blessing. And God definitely did that.
Miss Brenda.
He did that. Hey, Miss Brenda. Sister Brenda, what's going on? He said,
I have to stay at a hotel.
Oh, that's right.
That's right. She's in Virginia. I forgot about that. See there? Small world. Man. Okay. Yeah, so here we go, y'all. We're about to drill in some more. All right. Here we go, y'all. Y'all ready? Okay. So you're going to DC, Maryland, Virginia area.
DMV. It is that area.
Okay. All right. That's been covered. That's been taken care of. After that, your plan is to do what?
Leave.
You
leave.
You hear that?
I have.
And read it. And no, she's saying you chose. It's an awesome field. So she's saying that's an awesome field.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Your plan is to leave. You want to get out of here.
I don't want to get out of here. It's
Girl,
just,
please.
I think it'd be more convenient to stay closer to the school. I don't have a car, and they have jobs, so it's not like y'all can drive. It's not like they'll be able to drive me to school every day whenever I have classes. So
here is where the dilemma is, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, she's been accepted at Sam Houston. She's been accepted. That she already got her letter and everything like that. However, there has been a change in desires. No, maybe not. No, not desire. No, change in plans.
Not for me.
You see my point, y'all? Okay, so for her, she's saying, "Look, I'm going in August. We're going." The question is now, ladies and gentlemen, here's where you come in. How? Because we discussed about the grades, right? Okay, so prior to the acceptance letter, what was your grade point average?
I honestly do not remember.
It was a 3.9.
Yeah, somewhere
before the letter.
Before the second semester.
So listen. So here's we are. Here we are.
As a counselor, please do not.
Okay, let's put it up there. And ladies and gentlemen, put your comments up there. Put your comments up. We want to see them all. I need to get with Sean because I want to get somebody's comments and thoughts and everybody's. You can share your opinions and your thoughts about what we're talking about right now. As a counselor, Rita says, please do not change your major. The field needs more women, and they will give you money because women are underrepresented. I had a student that had her education paid for until her PhD. So the question is, though, Rita.
Yeah,
how?
And see, the thing is, that probably would have worked. It's just now we know that are like when to do certain stuff. When I did my enrollment says,
We were
that
winging
stuff
it.
was already
Yeah.
those deadlines had already passed.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't know, and plus you didn't get your acceptance letter
Yeah.
until late. I mean,
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
like
So there was a
late.
lot of factors that
Yeah,
went into not applying for scholarships.
And I think COVID had a lot to do with this as well, as far as just getting information out, getting letters and things of that nature. Because now I will say this: we did have people to help us as far as like my cousin Tanya, our friend Shagana, our sister Natasha.
Yeah.
We've had people to help us and giving us ways to who to contact to do this and who to contact to do that and what avenues we needed to go to get these things out. But here's where I'm coming from now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking at this thing, trying to look at this thing full circle and trying to look at this thing providentially. It just seems like to me there just been kind of like there's like a slight delay here because we still haven't gotten scholarships.
Yeah.
But it's not because I haven't received any. It's
Okay.
more so those deadlines for when they're going to award them is not until next month.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, a lot of them is not until
July.
Some have you gotten any for the ones that were for May and June?
I've already lost 3. I know
You've
that
lost
for
3.
sure.
Were any of them from the military?
No,
You
because
haven't
I
gotten
didn't.
it yet?
You applied for this?
Yes.
Oh no.
Yes, I did.
Well, no. One of that was the recent one.
What?
It was something from veterans. Yeah.
What?
Mm-hmm.
So they turned you down?
One of them. Mm-hmm.
See? I'm just getting this information just like y'all got it. I ain't know about that.
Yeah, me too. But I didn't know either.
Because I mean, I probably should tell you when I'm not getting something, but like if I'm not getting it, I don't feel like I was like, why do I want to say, yeah, I didn't get the money? I just want to tell you when I get money.
No, we need to know. We need to
to
know.
know.
We need to know all of that. But okay,
I'll call people in a minute.
So now, no, Jesus Love You said, so is she going to school in DC?
No, I'm going to a program. I was invited to go to a program that's in DC for my CSI field. So that's what I'm going to be attending for a little over a week. It's going to be 9 days. So I'll be there for that amount of time. Then I come back.
That's just to gain some experience.
Yeah, to gain some experience about the field and things of that nature. Then I'm going to come back home. And by the time I come back home, I'll have about 2 weeks before I need to pack my things and move to where my school is.
So let's talk about this. So how where we are right now as a family and where you are right now as a student and your plans to go to Sam Houston, what do we have right now to make that happen? Or do we? What do we have? I mean, how do we make this thing happen? Or is this going to happen? What's the desire and what's the reality? That's what we're trying to.
I don't see a change in my reality. He is. I'm not saying anything.
Okay. Well, go ahead. Share with the Facebook fam and the YouTube family what they're what we are, I guess, having an impasse on.
Yes, I did receive a financial aid package. Again, just because of the time of when I enrolled and things of that nature, they had already handed out their scholarships for my particular department, which would be chemistry. So that's why I didn't receive any scholarships, because they had already handed those out. My advisor did let me know that as the school year progresses, they'll already be looking at grades and students of that nature that are more competitive, and they'll issue scholarships for the following school year. But yeah, that's why I didn't receive any scholarships from my school. I did outside stuff. I applied for outside stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they, in my financial aid letter, they just gave me loans.
Yeah, we were only approved for loans, which was something that I guess we'll talk about here in a second. But that's just something that we really were not trying to do.
Right.
To go into more debt at this particular stage in our life.
And that's what we want to. That's what we want to, get your all's thoughts about that as well too. So, Myra, share with the people what you are either thinking about doing, what you are wanting to do, what you are going to do.
So, so loans, right? So there's 3 that I've been given, or that I can accept rather. The first 2 would be for me. Meaning, when I say for me, I would have to take care of them after I graduate. The last one would be a parent loan. So that would be something they would have to work out. the thing about accepting the first 2 loans that I would have to deal with after I graduate is more so, that's an adult decision, because that's not more so a now thing. It's kind of something I'm gonna have to think about. Will I be able to be okay with after I graduate? So that's kind of it's. So yeah, that's an adult decision definitely that I have to make, because it's money that I don't have that I would have to give back. And I would have to make sure that I have something stable in order to achieve that, or at least know that there will be something stable in the future to achieve that, alongside with my career or careers that I want to do and things of that nature. So that's what I'm looking at the moment. And I don't think, like, in terms of debt, I honestly don't think it's bad, because the amount that they're giving me, it's not like going to be like 50,000 or something like that. And also, I'm not saying to take out loans for every student, every school year. I'm just looking at that for this particular school year. So in terms of that, that's why I don't think that the debt would be that bad, because it's not a lot to me. I don't think it's a lot with what they've awarded me. And even for my parents, like what they would have to take out, from what I've been told by a particular parent, it seems like would possibly be feasible for them for where they are. So
what was the amount for the parent loan? Do you remember?
In total, 10.
It was 10?
Yeah.
Oh, so it was 5 for each semester?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Charles said, which career options are you deciding upon?
So I'm getting my degree in forensic chemistry. That's so I can become a CSI. Did you apply for college work? What is that? Is that like working while I'm
on campus?
Yes. So my advisor, who I've already spoken with, he let me know that they do have chemistry jobs and things of that nature for freshmen and working on campus, because I don't have a car, so I kind of need something that I can go to on campus. What's the tuition per year? The tuition per year, the cost of attendance was 26 something, but
that was for a year.
A year. The reason why I don't think it's not going to be that, because
there's a lot of stuff in there that we didn't need,
that we're not going to need, because I'm not going to live on campus. So that just eliminated 10 grand for the whole year. So now that drops it down to now we're at 16. And then on top of transportation, I don't have a car, so I'm not going to. Yeah, so I'm not going to need 2. So I'm not going to need. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to need that for the school year, because I don't have a car, so I'm not going to have to pay for parking passes and things of that nature. So that just eliminated 2. So now we're down to 14,000. Jesus loves you.
He said, believe in God for you to be a housewife.
No
need to go into deep debt for no reason. Just my opinion.
That is your opinion, and thank you for sharing your opinion. I don't think that that's everyone's. Of course, their women can be mothers and things of that nature if that's what they choose to do. And yeah, I want to have kids, but to be a housewife, I don't think that's what everybody wants to do. You can have kids and not housewives to work outside the home, to take care of your house and things of that nature. And it's not me. My other sister, she would love that. That's just not me.
Charles said, what's the upward mobility of a forensic scientist for CSI?
What's that mean?
Basically,
what do you progress as you progress and go up?
Job outlook.
Well, I don't really know, because I guess I know this. I know it depends on maybe what you're trying to be a CSI in. At first, I wasn't thinking about doing federal at all, but now I'm starting to maybe consider that as an option because at first being a CSI, I was just thinking, my local PD or something like that to help out with my actual community. But now I'm starting maybe thinking out, like venturing out federally. And I probably have to start local anyway. And maybe as I progress in that field, maybe they would look at me for that type of job to do federal. But yeah.
As Brenda said, can you take any online classes to reduce your costs?
Online classes?
Mm-hmm.
Like what?
Whatever class that you can take online to reduce costs. Have you?
So for my degree plan, it's now going to be 5 years. And in terms of like junior colleges and things of that nature, my advisor let me know that just for my particular situation, he doesn't think that would be financially good, because most people go to junior college, right, for the financial gain, right? So that they saved those years, so they don't have to go for the full 4. For my particular field, he said that my particular field is more rigid, and it's kind of harder for students that are within my field to try to go the junior college option, because depending on what they choose, it's kind of hard for you to get your prerequisites, the classes that you need to take, because like I said, that field is so rigid. You have to make sure you take the right classes. And he let me know that like majority of the students within my field, when they go to junior college, when they transfer to a 4-year, they have to take those classes all over again, because almost always the junior colleges will put them in a class that they weren't supposed to take, or they'll get their associates for a degree that was not even for their field. So he kind of said that's kind of something you don't want to chance. So you might as well just jump into the 4 years. So I personally just don't think that the risk would be financially good.
Let me ask you this then, and I don't know if he considered this your advisor. I understand what he's saying about those particular classes that won't transfer well, but classes like English, history, those classes have nothing to do with your program plan per se. So
but
those
why
are
just
classes
take
that you
those
have.
Why just take those and not just take all the classes I'm supposed to be taking? Because also the reason why my degree plan transferred from a 4 to a 5 is because I'm behind in math.
In math.
So they're trying to make sure. So that's why it got added now to a 5 degree, because for my field, you kind of have to take things step by step, because certain things are so dangerous. So they want to make sure that you've mastered certain things before they advance you to the next step and things of that nature. So that's what he was saying. Doing junior college for chemistry is a lot harder than versus, nursing or, stuff like that. Or if you just want to be an English major or stuff like that, it's a lot harder for my particular field.
But aren't those classes that you still have to take anyway? I'm talking like your English class, your history class, your something else you have to take that doesn't apply to your degree plan, because you won't immediately go into college, start working on your degree plan, because all of those upper level classes have prerequisites, and the prerequisites are the ground level classes that have to be taken first. So that's what I was asking. That was my big question, which I never got an answer to. And I would like to ask the advisor that. Understand about the chemistry and all of those math classes and not wanting to take the wrong thing. But you can't take a wrong English class. You can't take a wrong history class. Those classes have to be taken regardless. So that's what I was saying. Those classes can be taken at a junior college and transfer anywhere. That's what I was saying.
So someone said, Charles, I'll put this question back up. He said, maybe missed any discussion on this. Are you desiring to be married one day, kids, etc.? Also, what age?
Yeah. I do desire marriage and kids of that nature. I'm trying to.
You said 29, right?
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out like how to word it, because maybe it's coming off as I don't want. That's not something I want. I do. It's just not something that I see for. I'm not God, obviously, but it's that desire has never been like something that I want first. If that makes sense, it's kind of always it's something I want, but it's kind of always been for like after I do.
You want career then kids?
Yeah, that's kind of always kind of been like how I've looked at the plans for my life. Not that I don't want them. It's just always like I've always thought of it being later in life, not okay, I'm 20 something now, let's get married, have kids, blah blah blah. If you were to ask my other sister that is something she wants to get married young, have kids, all that, stay at home. That's what she wants to do. For me, that's just that was never something like that was something exciting for me.
Okay. Rita said, how many find jobs in this field after graduating? Do you know the actual pay scale for beginners? If it's a high-paying field that's highly marketable and you take out a loan, you'll be able to repay the loan back in no time. This is what I did, but everyone is different.
The starting pay, well, since I'd be single, I don't have anybody to take care of. It would just be myself. I believe the starting pay ranged from $40 to $50 if I'm not mistaken. I believe that's what it was. And it also depends like where you are, your location. So that's kind of more just so an average estimate. But I think the location of where you are also depends.
As Brenda said, you don't have to take any. You don't have to take online at junior colleges. Nicole, she mentioned the FBI also has work study programs you can participate in. They can be a great starting point to get your feet wet. Smart Christian said you can take core prerequisites.
That's what I just said.
And Michelle said junior college is a fantastic way to transfer your associate's degree to your 4-year program and go into junior college, and you should save. It will save a lot of money.
Not for my particular field.
Okay, all right. Are you willing to give up your career in some capacity to raise a family?
Somewhat, because that is a part of my plans. Because I know that being a CSI, you're basically on call for 24 hours. You know, whenever they need you to go to a crime scene, you just have to go. So you know, when kids do enter the picture, if they do, I did say I would, you know, change that plan of my life and try to probably stay home for a little while, and then maybe do something that's not as time consuming.
Mm-hmm. Michelle said you're focusing on your career now. Marriage and children will be in God's time.
Exactly.
Okay. And then Miss Natasha, hey sister,
Hi.
said, not sure if this question has been asked. How about taking classes at a local junior college this first year and then transfer afterward? This classes can be taken online. This class can be taken online as well.
Like I said, I like my particular field, which is chemistry, is a lot harder to try to do that game plan. And try in terms of trying to do it at a junior college. I would have to probably set up another appointment with my advisors because he worded it a lot better. So I'm probably not articulating it as well as he did for me.
I want to know his answer to these other classes because I understand completely about the classes that go to your degree program per se. I understand that. The math level that needs to be taken, the chemistry level that needs to be taken. But those are not classes you take the first 2 years of college. Those are not classes you're going to take.
And I think that's the question that people are asking. If those are not the main classes you have to take in your first 2 years, why can't junior college be the path? And then, but you're saying that the advisor is saying junior college is not a good idea.
Yeah, he's basically, to summarize why he said it's not a good idea, it's not like he's trying to, of course he would say that just because he just wants you to get to school and make more money, blah, blah, blah. He was telling me what majority of his students' experiences have been. He was like, he's literally had students like crying because they'll look over their degree plan. Oh, you took these classes at junior college, but they didn't, that didn't do anything for you because you took the wrong ones. They almost, because for my particular field, right, when you try to go the junior college route, they don't have a forensics like associate's degree, basically. So what they'll do is they'll put you in a CJ criminal justice associate. That's not helping towards your degree. You did not take the classes you were supposed to take trying to do criminal justice. You're supposed to be in forensics. It's two different paths. Right. So that's why he said it's just easier to just jump into it for because junior colleges can't really provide that for you because most of them do not have those classes. So
Brenda said CIA will help you pay off your school loans and to let her know if you're interested in the CIA.
I am looking at type of government things. It's not necessarily the CIA, but I am looking at ways that the government would be able to help with loan forgiveness and things of that nature.
It's just a keep going, young lady. Lots of support and people rooting for you and here to mentor you.
Thank you.
All right. Natasha said all freshmen have basic prerequisites. Those are math, English, history, literature, and etc.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Natasha. That's what I was saying, and that's why I said I want to ask this.
My husband just advised you that too. Go ahead, dear.
That's why I was saying I wanted to ask this advisor about that, and if these particular classes can transfer over to Sam Houston, then that would be fine because those classes have nothing to do with forensics, but they must be taken. So I don't know why you would have to go to Sam Houston to take English, history, literature, and all those things because they have nothing to do with your degree plan. You know what I'm saying?
But also, why would it be bad if I did?
I'm saying also, if you can't.
Also, why did I not think of that? He was also saying for chemistry students, the reason why junior college is because you basically spent the same. He was like, if you were to add it all up, you basically would have just spent the same amount if you went to a 4-year. He said the financial difference is really not that big.
It's big if you ain't got the money.
Well, no, but he was saying for my particular field, that's the whole issue, is that kids will take these classes and then have to take them again anyway.
Okay, so let's just ask the $1 million question. What do you want to take out a loan for your education, or should we take out a loan for your education, and what would that look like? Because there's a mixed bag of views with that, and I'm pretty sure you know that as well too. Some people say yes, it's worth it, take a chance on it. Some people say no, and, these student loan debt is horrible. And so we want to get your thoughts about that as well too. But you tell us. I mean, what are your thoughts about about?
I think there's a lot of factors. One of them being is that, for instance, for me, the degree that I'm trying to get, I've been talking about getting this degree for almost 4 years. So it's not anything new. It's not like I've changed my mind, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of been something that my parents have known about for almost 4 years. So in terms of me changing my major and finding something better, I don't think that I'm going to do that, because this has been something that's been in my mind, like, oh, this is definitely something I'm looking forward to studying. This is something I want to do with my life. This is something I'm passionate about, everything like that. So I think that's one of the factors because most of the times when you get a degree, you're not using it for the job that you currently have. I don't plan on doing that. I plan on using my degree for the career that I want, which is being in forensics, being a CSI and things of that nature. So in that way, I think it would be a good investment. Another factor also depends on how much the loan is. So like I said, it's not like I'm saying I'm doing this every single year. I'm saying for just this particular year, and also the amount that I've been awarded, I don't necessarily think it's unrealistic to take care of.
Mr. Charles said, I would say do the numbers based upon total school loan debt, earning potential, and etc.
Mm-hmm.
And what time frame is this loan?
6 months after you graduate.
That's when you start the payoff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And I learned the difference between subsidized and unsubsidized.
Mm-hmm.
So the subsidized loans don't start to accrue interest until you get into the repayment phase. But the unsubsidized loans start to accrue interest immediately after the loan is dispersed.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want the unsubsidized.
Well, why?
Because you would be paying interest on something while you're still in school. It'll be accruing interest the whole time you're in school.
It's like
I thought they were saying once you start paying it.
No, that's the subsidized. Unsubsidized, your interest starts to accrue the minute you get it.
So let's just say going into your field with your associate's degree from a junior college will really help save money. Also, some schools have dual enrollment to really help with the courses toward your major.
One, like I said, junior colleges don't really have that option for my field. Is not really unfortunately for where I live at. It's not my field is not something that is available like everywhere, like it would be like maybe nursing or things of that nature. It's not a field that you would find available at every college.
Yeah, because U of H doesn't have it, right?
Yeah, so that was kind of like a problem I ran into, like even like just applying for like schools I wanted to go to. My state does not have that everywhere. It's not like it's a known field, but it's not a field that you can get a degree for everywhere, is basically what I'm saying. So that was the first thing in terms of junior college. That's not really something you can get as an associate's in. And then with the dual credit, I've already finished high school, so I can't do dual enrollment.
I wanted to read this statement. This is from Dave Ramsey. Some of y'all had read the post earlier this week that I had shared. He says, parents, don't encourage your kids to take out student loans. Encourage them to make plans to go to a school where cash can be paid for college. Academics are important, but they do not cause you to be successful. We all know highly educated broke people, end quote. So that's on my post. A lot of people had commented on it. Some people said, I'll just read one. And again, I want to get your thoughts about it as well, too. Kim said, I tell my students that if you decide to go to college, choose a lucrative major based on STEM. Now, I'm assuming STEM stands for science, technology.
That's what I am.
Engineering
Yeah.
and math.
Math.
Or medical, or does it math?
It's math.
Okay. And he said to stay away from liberal arts degrees if possible. While the goal is to enter college with a scholarship, student loans for some are the only way to get through college.
Mm-hmm.
There are trades and other work experiences that pay more than many college degrees as well. At the end of the day, it's up to the individual. However, I would never discourage anyone from going to college because of student loans. If they are comfortable owing $50,000 or more in student loan debt, more power to them.
So the other thing is, before you read something else, is a lot of times, and I'm not saying this is going to be your case, because, you know, a lot of times when you have your mind made up about something, it's pretty much done because you're like your dad. So, but in the event that you choose this pattern, you choose this profession rather, and you've already acquired debt, and you get in here and then you say, I don't really like this as much as I thought I was going to.
Or you change your mind, or
you change your mind.
Or situations like your high school year happened in your senior year, and it happens going to college. Then what?
And and
or
then
you get sick.
You've already acquired the debt now. So whether you keep on going on that course or you change courses, either way, that loan is following you now because you have it.
You understand what we're saying?
Yeah, like what I said, like changing my major. I honestly don't think that's what I'm going to do because I know
you don't see that now. You don't see that now, but I'm saying
because I don't like anything else. So I'm saying I know what I want to do for a career, so I know what degree
teacher too.
Yeah,
that's later. That hasn't changed either. I said that's later in life.
But see, that's my point. But forensic or CSI, that's pretty much
now.
Right. You really haven't talked about being a teacher much. You really haven't talked about being a teacher much.
Because I said that's for when I have kids.
So you talking about having kids, and then I guess letting the CSI thing go, and then be a teacher afterwards.
Yeah, like a sub.
So
it's more like it's less time consuming. I'm not gone like every day. It's more so
who will be your kids?
Who
will be your kids?
I have things for that.
You have things.
You mean you're not gonna be with your kids?
Yeah.
You sure? I mean, because we're not doing that. I mean.
Yeah, I honestly don't think I would even still be here. Like I'm saying, like here in terms of being in this state. So.
So. Okay. So. All right. So the kids thing comes in your plan. The kid thing comes after CSI. So like you finish doing your little CSI thing, should God allow that? Then you talk about having kids. I mean, being married and having children.
Mm-hmm.
And then after you have your children, how many children am I talking about having?
3 max.
3 max. Okay. So she wants to have this 3 kids, and that's it.
You're laughing because you didn't try to prevent it. So that's on y'all too. That's why y'all had more. That's why y'all had more than what you wanted.
Okay, so hopefully, hopefully you ain't talking about doing nothing worldly. Talking about shutting your womb off. Hope you ain't talking.
No, I'm not getting my tubes tied.
Okay, well, I mean, then you don't control how many kids you're gonna have. That's why, unless something outside of your control happens, you already know anytime you have sex, and that pretty much opens up the door possibility of getting pregnant. Outside of
because nothing's 100 proof.
Nothing's foolproof. I'm just saying, it's good that you have plans.
Abstinence.
It's good that you have plans, and those are good things. And I want to commend you for that because at least you're not saying, "Well, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what I want to be." I mean, we definitely commend you on that. We definitely praise God for you on that. But we wanted to make sure that you leave yourself open for whatever God decides to do. Kind of like you mentioned earlier about your senior year. You have plans to do this. You have plans to do that. You have plans, and God kind of like threw audibles in there to where you have to readjust. And you have to kind of like, I guess you put it this way. What was your spiritual struggle with God when it came to your plans, or when it comes to your plans? You being a perfectionist, I'm trying to give you a little hint. Because there's only one person that's perfect. So
what do perfectionists struggle with?
Yeah.
Change.
Try again.
That too. But go ahead. That is too.
What do perfectionists struggle with?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, control.
Yes.
I'm a control freak.
Lavina has a long post.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Your daughter changed her degree. See, that's what I'm trying not to do.
See,
and my brother did the same thing. I know he did the same thing. So like,
but that's the
I
point.
can't see what she said.
There, you gotta sit up. You up here chilling, laying in your recliner. She said her daughter changed her degree 3 times. 3 times. In other words, life happens.
But like that's what I'm saying. Like I know I keep saying that's why the reason why I don't see myself doing that is because I know already like what I'm passionate about. So like even if it's not forensics, I know it's something within criminal like law stuff. So that's why I honestly don't think I would change it because I know what I want to do.
I'm gonna read Ms. Levine's gonna probably cover our screen, but I'm gonna read it anyway here. So she said, not to discourage you, but when I started college, my major was in mass communication with a minor in theater. I took out student loans too, got in there for a year and wanted to switch majors. So I then decided to move back home and attend a career in technical college where I majored in IT and web development. I had a very hard time obtaining a job right out of school because of a lot of times employers want experience over education. So my advice is be 100% sure that forensics is something, I'm assuming you say that it's something that you want to do.
Yeah, see, like again, like I said, it's been something I've been wanting to do for the last 4 years. So okay.
But you haven't dug in, Myra. You haven't been in there.
You're saying like when the work starts?
When life happens.
When life happens, you haven't been in there. Right. You haven't been laying in your bed and the phone rings at 1:00 and they're calling you to go to a scene numerous times.
But that's not going to happen until I get the job. I'm not going to get that experience.
No. Forget about the going to the scene. Let's talk about her going to school and being bogged down with all these courses. And you're being tired or something, because we're saying this is the plan, but if God has other things in that plan, are you going to be willing to adjust or if this is not the path, the course that he wants you to take, and you do take out a loan, that debt is your debt. There's no, they don't have a clause where, okay, well, if you decide to change your major, then, we'll just go ahead and just, okay, well, you know what? Yeah, she meant to go ahead and, do this forensic thing, but hey, man, things happen. We're not gonna trip about that. No, when you say okay, then that's you. You got to eat that. So, and let me give you a biblical example. And all of us should know this. All of us should know this parable. Jesus gives a parable about counting the cost. Okay, he gives a parable about a general or a person of war. He gives a parable about the house, a builder. He says a person that does not count the cost of how much labor is going to cost, how much tools is going to cost to do a work, they're making foolish decisions and they're not counting the cost. When you go to war, you want to know how many people are going to be going to war with you that's going to be able to fight with you. So you want to make a fully informed decision before you make a decision. You got that? Because again, life is about choices. And so when we make decisions, we're looking at the total span or based on the information that we have received and the counsel that we received and advice that we receive from other people. And then you assess all of that. You say, okay, so now based on this, here's the best decision for me. And then you take responsibility for that. You make wise decisions, you make wise choices, and then we trust God with the results. So the thing that I'm making sure is that whatever you decide to do, number one, you pray about it. Number two, you get wise counsel. Number three, you pray about it. And then lastly, again, you trust God, with the results, but you want to be fully informed about whatever decision that you make. And this is what we talked about earlier, because you said me. This is me. It's gonna be my thing.
Yeah, in terms of taking out the loan.
It still affects us though.
I feel like the only way it would affect you is because you would feel bad. Because you don't want me to go into debt. What parent does?
Okay,
So I feel like that's the only way it would affect you.
It would everything. But
But-
see this. Go ahead, Shan. Go ahead.
But you're our child. So
Mhm.
when something like that is looming over your head, it's technically looming over ours as well,
Mm.
because we want to make sure that when you're out there,
Mhm.
that you are guarded, that you are protected, and that you have all the tools that you need to be successful.
If any of you all know someone that we can talk to that's in this field, like Charles has mentioned, have you shadowed a forensic
trip.
scientist?
So
Yeah,
unfortunately,
thank you. Okay.
my trip is gonna be early, like somewhat mid-July. So during that course of those 8 days, I will be able to see what is it like being a forensic scientist. There's gonna be conferences. There's gonna be a lot of what do you call it? Is it a spokesperson? Like
Conferences.
speakers. There's gonna be
Conferences.
there's gonna be speakers coming from my particular field and things of that nature. So I'm going to be able to delve deeper into what is this life going to look like?
Mhm.
How is it going to benefit me? Is this something I want to do? So that's why I'm really excited about this trip that I have coming up next month, because it will either make this decision more concrete, or like, oh, okay, is this something I want to do? And I'm hoping that it will do, like, I hope it will make it more concrete for me that this is something I'm passionate about, no matter how hard it seems like, because I know the workload will be a lot. I know, like, once the school stuff starts, it'll be hard, but if it's something you want to do, you're going to do it, no matter how hard it gets. That how hard it becomes shouldn't really change, like, oh, this is, I don't know anymore,
So now what do you hear us saying? Because I want to make sure that what you hear us saying is what we are communicating. What is that? What are you interpreting or hearing your mother and I say? And even people on the live, but particularly us first. What do you hear us saying?
I think you guys just want to make sure that this is something that I'm sure of, and that let's see, like, making sure it's something that this is what you want to do. Also counting the costs in terms of loans. Like, if you do this, just be sure that you're informed about it. Be sure that after you graduate, because that's basically what when that will come into play, is making sure that what's coming after is stable, basically, and that you'll be able to take care of however much you owe and things of that nature.
So you said, since you want to do this just for the first year, so what plan or what thought process have you put into place to say, okay, well, for the second year, this is how I'm going to pay for college, so where I don't have to do loans again?
Scholarships, because seeing how this year transpired, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being more focused. College, you want to experience a lot of things. You want to go out. You want to do things of that nature, blah, blah. With this, and knowing, like, how much money would be invested into it, and knowing, like, the things that, what am I trying to say? Trying to make sure that, I make it worth their buck. So I want to make sure that, how did I lose my train of thought? What was I saying?
Let me ask you again. What do you have in place, or what thought process have you had as
After
to
year
making
one.
sure that, after year one, you don't have to get another loan for year two? How are you going to go about getting those scholarships, or making sure that you even get a scholarship?
Okay.
How's that gonna be guaranteed?
So again, now we know when to do it. We know how to do it, where to go, and all that type of stuff. So I think that's now a better, we're more informed on that aspect. And also, he was letting my advisor, he was letting me know that, unfortunately, since we had already missed the first deadline for this school year, as the next school year progresses, they're already, as soon as grades start rolling in, they're already looking at students in all types of departments, and they basically just hand out money until they run out. That's basically what he let me know. They hand out scholarships until they run out.
True.
So he was saying that they just look at students' GPAs, their grades, and things of that nature, to see, okay, so-and-so is competitive in this field, let's award them financially with this type of stuff. So really just being a good student and making sure I achieve.
Do you know how competitive
achieve.
that department is?
He said extremely.
Mm-hmm.
So
if it's extremely,
your grade point average
has to be he said at the minimum, and it has to be a 3.3. So to be more competitive, it would have to be higher than that.
Mm-hmm.
And so
To
what
even
happens?
be considered.
Yeah.
Right.
Right. So what happens? And I'm throwing this stuff out here. What happens? Year 2 comes and you don't get a scholarship.
Well, I feel like, again, if it's maybe not like from the school, I
Mhm.
feel like I'm hoping my grades would be better and things of that nature. So I feel like maybe outside help would be more beneficial, because now, okay, she already has 1 year under her belt, things like that. What's her financial situation looking like? Is she more dependent? Does she still have like parents? Is she on their taxes or whatever like that? Stuff like that. So I feel like there would be more factors that affected this school year and how our scholarships went with that. I feel like they would change when it comes to the following school year. Like it would be a better outlook.
All right. Rita said, first I went to school for nursing. When I had to dissect that pig, I was done. Then I changed it to psychology. I later found it wasn't for me. I eventually ended up being a guidance.
In terms of smells, when it comes to being a CSI, the only thing is formaldehyde. I've smelled formaldehyde
and cadavers. You
have to bodies and things of that nature.
Look at autopsy.
Well, no, I don't have to do an autopsy. That's not what a CSI is. That's more so a starts with a P.
Pathologist?
Yeah, pathologist, a forensic pathologist.
Oh, okay.
So my Christian said you've had this conversation 3 times already.
Oh, with kids?
Yep.
Your children?
I'm assuming so, yep. Charles said, I agree. My parents, mom specifically, asked about my school loan debt, and I'm 43.
I'm like, oh, how's it going?
Man, he said I would say do the shadowing first. So,
I'm gonna get that experience this
July,
summer.
right?
Yeah.
Okay. Michelle said I worked on a project in Memphis a few years back. They built a brand new state-of-the-art forensics lab. I will see if I can find my contact that I worked on with there.
I would have to go to Memphis for that. How would that work?
You never know. Things connect. Yeah, people network. They know people that know people know people. The best part about being 17 to 18 is not knowing what adults know. Full of optimism, but light on wisdom. Listen to the parents God gave you. All right. I don't have a problem, Lavina said, with student loans as long as you know you are responsible for paying them back regardless of the outcome. 15 years later after graduation, I still owe student loans.
Do you think a factor is we haven't told them really like what is the loan? So do you think that would help maybe make it seem like it would be okay if we say how much the loan is?
Well, yeah, you know how much, what you're gonna need.
So I think for my loans without theirs would be $5,500 for the year. So yeah, that's what we're looking at for the year. Yeah, she's your child for sure. So yeah, for my loans that we're looking at for the entire school year is $5,500 for loans.
Okay, so what say you, ladies and gentlemen? I mean,
Lavina says she owes more than what she took
Yeah,
out.
she said that.
The interest,
right? Yeah.
Gee whiz.
So I put up again because I read part of it. So she said I could have paid them off earlier, but I was young and dumb and did not focus on paying them. Now I owe more than I took out.
Get a job, start saving, all that stuff.
So then Michelle said maybe you can at least speak with someone in the field that can give you coach and some guidance and additional information. That is
this summer.
Yes,
that is the plan. So, but yeah, so we wanted to get y'all's thoughts about some things. I wanted to read a couple comments from Dave Ramsey's post, but you had people that were responding to it. Remember, I said it was a mixed bag. It was mixed, the jury was split. So Scott Newman, Mr.
Yes.
Scott. Scott Newman said this. He said both our children received their associate's degree while in high school, so we saved about $70K with that. Our son is a junior at 18 and majoring in chemical engineering. My daughter will go to the University of Miami studying law, mostly scholarships, but nothing crazy out of pocket with some loans. I view it as a good investment. Tired of extremes on both ends, whether it's the prosperity gospel crooks or the only cash buy only hoopty garbage cars. He said the only cash buy hoopty only garbage cars folk in order to sell books and seminars. Just be wise in your spending, and only you know your budget. And he said he rejects all that foodie wag. Someone else says, I'm personally a fan of community college. First, if a degree is your goal, because costs are substantially lower. Truth of the matter is, people have to take out loans for school in most cases. And depending on the field, let's say nursing, you will pay those loans back in no time with the salary that profession pays. He said, I don't agree with Dave on everything. I wanted to read Natasha. Here it is, Natasha Gaines. She said something that was very on point, I believe. She says, I agree and disagree with Dave Ramsey. I feel it lacks context, she says. The problem starts with saying just go to college. It's more complex than that. So, for example, if you ask your child what they envision their lifestyle to be, and they answer with lifestyle that costs $100,000 a year, but they want to be a social worker, then that would want to give them a lifestyle that they want. So you wouldn't want to take out a huge loan for a career that may pay you around $50,000 or less a year. So if they choose to be an RN, a PA, or MD, a radiologist, etc., those careers will give you entry level around $90,000 more in certain states. But if they took out a loan for that profession, they can pay it back, or they can work for an underprivileged area for 2 to 3 years, and there are programs that will pay it off for them. So it's all about research. And there is always the option to start at a 2-year college, get your core courses done for cheaper, then transfer to a 4-year college. But the conversation has to get away from just go to college and don't take out loans, especially if your parents did not set aside money to pay for your college education. And that's the reality. I believe that's one of the best comments that I read.
Mr. Charles, he was saying, because when I said what the loan was,
yeah, she said 55 for 1 year, to set aside $460 per month for a year to pay off when you acquire the job. Yeah. All right. Anyone else?
I didn't see anything else.
Okay. And Talia said, I agree with Dave. This applies to most people who would otherwise end up in debt needlessly. This is a snippet of what Dave Ramsey teaches. He helps guide people through the nuances of various situations on his show, in-person events, and in books that he endorses. So I just wanted to read these comments because, again, everybody has different views. You know, April had mentioned it. She says, I would agree with this 100%. Talking about Dave. Student loan debt is incredibly oppressive, and unless you are in a STEM field, which you are, or some other highly specialized career, the return of interest is simply not there. Return of investment is simply not there. Most young adults have so much student loan debt that they cannot begin to live on their own after college because of the high loan payments. I suggest kids do a dual enrollment in high school, go to a state school where they can either work or pay for school at the same time, or have enough cash saved up so that they can avoid taking out loans. Lastly, a degree is not the only path to success. I'm a college dropout. No shame at all about it. I managed to enter the workforce at 19 and acquired several proficiencies that allowed me to generate a decent income while I was still drowning in debt. I hired a license and 2 insurance licenses on my own insurance agency by the time I was 25. I bought my first home at 25. There are so many paths to entrepreneurship that don't require a degree. Plus, I am not paying for my kids to be brainwashed only to come out of it with a useless gender studies degree, unless it is STEM. Unless it's STEM, law or medicine, I support going to a trade school and learn a skill. Being a regular blue-collar worker is okay because right now we have a dwindling labor force because everyone ran off to college to get a degree. Now, a bachelor's or master's really has no value. So, again, I just want you to hear different views on that.
I think too, you should probably look into the STEM job market and make sure that what everybody's quoting or what you may have seen,
40, 50
past years, if it's still at that, entry level, if it's still at that.
So that's the plan. So anyway, yeah, so we just wanted to share this live with you all. Again, our daughter wanted to, share her experience her last year as a high school student. So we do thank God for him being gracious to her, allowing her to finish well. She finished well. She finished strong. She did her best and learned a life lesson, a costly one, I believe, at that. And so life is always going to be about choices.
Wait, why was it costly?
It costed us money. for you to learn this as well too. We this wasn't free.
Oh, you mean like just paying for school?
Yeah, we'll have to pay again.
Oh, yeah, for college is yeah, that's true. Oh, but see, also, another factor, they're not going to be alone, okay? I plan on getting a job. I plan on working because, there's other things that also have to be taken care of that I don't want that burden to just be on them too. So I'm going to be contributing to my finances.
How?
Getting a job.
When?
That's up to God.
Oh, that's up to God. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's up to God when she throws it off on us. Yeah. It ain't up to God when she wants to do what she wants. Yeah, I want to do that. Anyway, okay. But no, we appreciate the feedback, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us, here on this live. We wanted to do a live.
My phone. Hold on.
We didn't want it to be something that it just like that. She just gone. But yeah, we wanted it to be something that we could hear your heart about, and for you to share your thoughts with us as well. And she's coming right back into the
the cash. Shamoney WO2. Okay.
I know how to spell that. You guys
dollar sign. Okay, there we go. There we go. If you want to contribute to my college fund, whatever the Lord puts on your heart, there we go.
We didn't say this.
All right.
This didn't come from us.
Oh, somebody. I bet that's now. I bet you that's.
I bet that is.
I bet that's now.
Yes, you.
Wow. Okay, she's in my. And by the way,
A little hacker.
she's a hacker. Nala is the second oldest. one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because that's
so
not me commenting. That's not me.
They ain't love life and marriage. Our
No.
daughter came into our account
Thank you.
and she jacked it. Okay, that's what she did. So, but yeah, Michelle, thank you so much, sister.
Thank you.
Yeah, we
Thank you.
again we just wanted to share this experience with you all again because we want people to think that we don't have struggles and things that go on in our life. We just want what's best for our children,
Mhm.
but most importantly, we want what God wants for them.
Yep.
And so we're trying to condition our children to, number one, your life does not belong to you, it belongs to God. You belong to Him. So therefore, He has a right to change plans. Man plans his way, but God says He directs his steps.
Yep.
And so it ain't just about the things that we want. It's the things that God wants as well too. I mean, we can always have plans, and I want us to plan. God tells us that we should plan. He commends us on planning, but those plans must be held loosely and must be held with open hands so God can take out and put in what He wants. And so since it's saying, may the will of the Lord be done, and we're going to have closed fists with that. So that's our goal and our desire is to do that. So anyway, we definitely thank you all for the comments. We do appreciate all of the advice. We appreciate your thoughts regarding that and your perspectives and your opinions. We really do appreciate that. Keep us in your prayers. If you want to reach out to us, you can do that. SaikoWoods at yahoo.com, or Ms. Woods, you can let the ladies know how to reach out to you as well.
SRENA Woods 36 at yahoo.com.
All right.
Natasha said she's 3 more years.
3 more years. Trying to prepare myself.
Hannah?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, we definitely appreciate you guys. So again,
Thank you guys for your feedback.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Absolutely appreciate that. So, got to get ready for my other live in another hour or so myself.
And we'll keep you guys posted too to let you know,
Yep.
you know, what the outcome is and
Yep.
what happens and
Gonna keep
how
you
we
all.
move forward.
Yep, we're gonna follow you all with more videos as well too. So again, go to our Love, Life, and Marriage channel. Like, subscribe to that channel. Please get those subscriptions up for us.
Yes.
Let people know about this. If this has been a blessing to you, share this video with others as well. That's our time. Thank you for yours. And until next time, bye.
Bye.
Bye.